touch with their body signals, such as heart rate and breathing, as opposed to the women I have sex with who just hold their breath until it's over.
What, I mean, Mac Hammer. Has there ever been a more fitting fucking name for a human being?
No, but I expected him to be taller.
I wish I was. I wish I was TP.
Oh, man.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're recording. So,
This episode is just us watching SNL jokes and laughing.
that was good.
Oh no, I stopped and started over.
That was fun.
Oh, man. Well,
Hey,
yeah,
you
welcome
know?
back.
Will's back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ADHD Sports Podcast. Yes, professional. Like that. Will Brinson, Trent Penix, Tom Lavolsi, Mac Hammer, here at the Behringer Construction Den.
The not easy lounge.
The Not
The
Easy
Not
Lounge,
Easy.
established
There's a
2021.
cool
This
story
place is
behind
great.
that. I'll have Brian come on and tell the story of why it's called the Not Easy Lounge. It's pretty cool.
I don't even know. I've been like bouncing around traveling. You know, happens at Christmas, happens at the holidays. You guys did some shows, but we're all back for the first time. In
Yeah, we did the
2025.
Christmas special.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Props to TP for staying on top of me. I had my computer crash like 5 times trying to edit it and upload it. Finally got it done.
Techie.
We still need an editor. So if you're out there,
I think we
you're
might have
Yeah, what happened to...
I think we might have one.
Okay, thanks, yeah.
Yeah.
everybody's like, we want to do a podcast, and not like everybody here, but like literally everyone in the world's like, let's do a podcast, and then like they're like,
Yeah.
you got to do all this stuff too. It's like, yeah, that's
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So New Year, first full pod of the New Year. How was New Year's is overrated. New Year's Eve is overrated. I like New Year's Day better than New Year's Eve personally.
I was on a
Agreed.
cruise. I was on a boat. It was cool.
Sick.
But, yeah.
Nice and warm.
It was. We went down to Mexico. Got some
Ah.
good vitamins down there. I brought some back.
Mm.
You need some. I muled them in.
Speaking of traveling, the number one topic on the agenda here, Tom's a Marshall fan.
Tom's a Marshall fan now.
For fuck's sake.
Tom's a Marshall fan.
I'm a Tony Gibson
So
fan.
unfortunately, Gibby did not go to Carolina like we talked about.
Well, I mean, he
Yeah, you
might.
got
That might be.
You
There
know,
might be
I
an
think it
opening
worked out
coming
okay. Speaking of which, when I was editing the video, when we were talking about Belichick, you said he's not a great coach. He's a system guy. And
I didn't say that.
Listen, I was
No,
proud.
Tom
I
said
was going
that.
to say, like, I said I would take a gravity bong hit live on air if Belichick took the job.
Did you?
Yeah, and somehow it wasn't the stupidest thing anyone said about
Well,
Belichick.
hang on.
Yes.
Well, hang on a second.
wait,
It
hang
sounds
on.
like we need to set up a gravity bong
Yeah.
here.
Now,
Did you
Did you see the professional pump the brakes?
Wait. So I had a question for Tom. The
we
question is,
drive to illegal states.
you said he's a system guy.
Yeah.
What good head coach isn't a system guy?
I
Good
mean,
point.
listen.
Isn't that
I'm
the
not
definition?
above.
The
I'm
definition of
I'm
being
not above saying that my hatred for UNC will allow me to rationalize any comments that come out of my mouth.
Okay, all right, let's get. I got Belichick on here. We'll get to Belichick in a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about Marshall first.
Let's talk about your gravity bong hit that you have to
No.
take. I'm kidding.
That's
I'm
part of
kidding.
the
I'm
Belichick
kidding.
there, yeah.
Okay. So yes, Tony Gibson, head coach of Marshall.
You were up there.
Yep.
Like, you guys are boys, obviously.
That's my guy, man.
The last time we were here was actually the day that, I don't know if he was officially announced, but he was officially announced
I
like
think
maybe
it
the
was
next
officially
day.
announced a day or two after.
Yeah, but like you had sort of hinted on the show and to us that it was likely. Like,
Was Randy Moss there?
No, Randy Moss is not doing well, man.
no,
Like,
he beat cancer, I think.
no, I don't know. I was there the other day, and I mean, he's obviously a legend there,
Yeah.
and said sounds like it's not well.
Well, I was in Dallas with my buddy, and one of his friends is a doctor, and you know, like it was like we were talking about Randy Moss. He's a big football fan. We were talking about Randy Moss, and he was like, yeah, that's like 80% of the time is like, or higher, is like when you get that specific diagnosis,
Yeah.
it's
What
not good.
time he
Will's buddy is Tony Romo. He's like, yeah, me and Tony.
Yeah,
Just
man.
hanging out.
But I'll tell you what's cool though. So went to Huntington, went to Marshall. My first time there. Trent, you've been there to visit Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. There's some NC State ties there already. As a matter of fact, my first ever NC State game that I ever went to as a kid was State Marshall here. Yeah, going down the hill on a fucking Domino's pizza box.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time Gibby and I went to the Greenbrier?
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was Tom. I don't think you were here for
That's
that.
it. No, that was a cool story. But anyway, that is a college town, man. That's a really cool little area. Like you have to drive through this really pretty street downtown that has all old school fraternity and sorority houses, like from like Revenge of the Nerd shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really nice looking fucking houses. The stadium is really cool. his office is like right there on top of the field. But yeah, I went there to
Sounds like UNC.
celebrate. No, I mean, I'll tell you
With
what.
the history of being good at football.
With a history, but I'll tell you what. There's not a human being that lives in that town that's not a diehard Marshall fan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just about to
That's
say
really
that's
cool.
all they know.
It's like a
about
big
that.
high school. You know, like you watch the Friday Night Light shit. It's that with college.
Yeah, that's
And Gibby's he's the Elvis Presley of West Virginia. Like,
So yeah, I was going to ask. Like, I mean, I guess I have a couple questions about him at Marshall, in the sense of like, because he's from West Virginia.
Mhm.
Is this like is this one of those where this is his like dream job? Like if he's successful at Marshall, he stays at Marshall. Is Marshall like a place he would go? Then like
Is it a launching pad?
yeah, like
Yeah.
like if I mean
Is
just
WVU
or
is
even-
that like the diamond of
yeah.
West Virginia coaching?
my personal opinion, I've seen a few things to give it context. One, their athletic director gets it. Their athletic director, listening to him talk, we went to a little celebration for Tony, and listening to their athletic director talk and engage about coming up with ways to support the growth that they're going to need, their plans for the facility. They're going to have this
That
really
sounds
cool,
interesting and neat.
doesn't it?
Sure does.
But
He's a system guy.
yeah. But anyway, I think there's an opportunity for him to turn Marshall. I mean, Marshall's already, one of the fringe household names, if we're being honest. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
And I think that I personally, you can look at Tony Gibson and tell that he is happy as fuck to be back in West Virginia, right? I mean, that's him.
Just
That
a head
town,
coach for the first time.
A head coach, and that coupled with an athletic director that really, I mean, I spent 2 days with the guy, and I could already tell, like, this guy, he loves this place. He knows his fan base. He knows his donors on a personal level. Now, obviously, it's a scale thing, right? NC State has a much larger, I think, fan base, donor base, whatever. But I think, to answer your question, it's not the opportunity for it to be a launching pad is not as great as you would think, because they have the athletic director that wants to support the growth. I mean, if Gibby, I think, knowing him and, just hearing late night joke conversations while we were there talking about, you guys, who is your rival, right? Because Gibby's a rivalry guy. And App State is their rival. But let's be honest, like, nobody thinks that App State, Marshall, or whatever. I said, what about West Virginia? If you guys played West Virginia, because that's it. That state, that's 2 schools and that's it, man. And he even said, he's like, they have a new governor that's trying to make that shit happen. So that
What
Marshall
happened to the
would
coach
play.
that was there? Because they've got, for the last 5 years, they went 7-3, 7-6, 9-4, 6-7, and 10-3.
Cool, because they had Doc Holliday forever. I'm on the same page you probably.
Yeah, most likely.
But then the Charles Huff guy, I remember he got fired before the bowl game, despite winning the conference. And so it's like it's kind of a tough spot for Gibby, just in the sense for Gibby, in the sense of like, I mean, granted the guy's
The bar's
out.
pretty high coming in.
Yeah, like you're not coming into a team that won 3. Now on the counterpoint, like you're coming into a team that won 10 games.
You've got
like,
some talent.
I mean, do you have talent? Is there?
There's talent. I
Okay,
mean, so let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They've
I mean,
got
I guess
some of the. If you look at it's half NC State players.
Well, no, but I think that like
that-
Gibby wasn't the only one that wanted to get the fuck out of Raleigh.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think there'll be, and this just happens like you're wearing a Marshall football hat, like you're going to be closely following Marshall.
Yeah.
Like if NC State stumbles early and has a bad season, you're like walking like you're
No,
like,
I mean, look.
Are you going to change it to Thunderherd Tom?
You know how. So
well, like, what's his coaching style? Like, what's the setup? Like, what's it? Because like we heard, who's DJ Elliott, new defensive coordinator, come in. He's like, we're going to be multiple, and I had some friends who were like, what is like? But that's like something every defensive coach says. Like, we're going to be multiple. Like an offensive coach is like, we're going to run up tempo and be multiple on offense.
Yeah.
And it's like, just not okay. Yeah, like that's what everyone wants to hear. Like, what is Gibby's like plan
He's
to make Marshall
3-3-5. I mean, that defense is not going anywhere. He's got Jalen Parker. He's got some linebackers already. That in order for that defense to work, you have to have linebackers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they're fast linebackers.
Fine, and he's
They
got
all
them.
fast.
He's got
Yeah.
them.
And
I'm telling-
I've met a lot of them too.
Yeah.
So like
he also
really?
just got
yeah,
a.
when I went to see Jordan, so I met all their boys and whatnot. So
He also just got a stud quarterback. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
public or not. Like, but
I heard about that.
yeah, that guy.
Where's he from?
He started at Florida, then Syracuse, or Syracuse, then Florida, then here.
What's his
Marshall.
name?
Here, the transition has begun.
I caught that shit. I was like, oh, that's not good. Look, but I want to say, I said before the show, if Marshall plays, the reason I'm all about Marshall is because, like I said, I'm wherever Trent goes. If Trent goes to play in Canada or whatever, I'm a fucking whatever
Yeah.
team he's on, I'm pulling for.
Is it
Right?
Stone Earl?
6'4". He's like 6'5". No.
He's a 4-star transfer.
Arch Manning to Marshall.
Let me see what he looks like. I'll be
No, I
able
don't
to
think
tell you.
that's him.
Yeah, no, he's tall.
I remember last time we played Marshall.
I'll tell you.
At Marshall,
Yeah.
2018. I got CJ Riley killed. Yeah, it was bad. It was freshman year. Yeah, so freshman year.
You
That
missed
was
a
my
block?
very first special teams play, and they just threw me in there because I think Lou got hurt. And then they was like, Trent, go ahead, because I was his backup for the week. I was tweaking. I was doing my count, and I saw, rest in peace, Yuli, but it was Yuli. I forgot his last name. Well, that was his last name. I don't know, but his name was Yuli. He was just big, stocky, swole guy. And I was like, and like kick return, I ain't gonna lie, kick return is probably the worst special teams you can ever be on. You just sitting there waiting for somebody to come right in your face. That's why they changed it in the league because, but like college, they might end up changing it too. But yeah, he literally shoved me out the way with no effort, popped CJ bounced off the turf, ball pops out of his hand, and they scored. Scooped and scored. Yeah, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. Because the next day, I went up to him. I gave him a hug. I was like, bro, I'm so sorry.
He's like, who are you?
No,
still concussed.
It was bad because they showed it on the screen, just seeing the replay, just him slowly just bouncing off the turf and the ball popping out. I said,
what year was that? 2018? I'll find the clip and edit it in.
Yeah. Trust me, it's on YouTube. It's definitely on there.
But to get back to it, I'm loyal to people, right? And NC State. If NC State played Marshall, when that happens again, I want NC State to win. Make no mistake, I am an NC State fan. I love NC State more than I love most of the members of my own family.
Sure.
Right. I am really upset with them right now. That we're putting them in timeout and letting them think about some things, and we'll see how things come back together. But I am an NC State. I prove that I'm an NC State fan financially and everything that I do. However,
the Volsi Nutrition Center.
Yeah, how fucking funny is that?
That is amazing.
I don't even know if that's still
Feels
there.
like
It
feels like the team's
the
team's been training there lately.
Yeah. Oh, you hitting up the snacks?
I still be
Hey,
getting
next
snacks.
time you're in there, take a picture of that shit.
All right. I'm going right after
We
this.
should go. We should go take a field trip over there. That would be an episode. I haven't been in that fucking building. Listen, I haven't been in the Murphy Center in over a year.
Oh, that's crazy.
I still have my fob. Let's just walk through there and film it. Do you want to talk about?
You have a Murphy Center fob? That's cool.
No, they changed it. It's different. They switched it. It's not even a little tap because they got me too. Because it's like a little hand thing, a hand scanner. I was like, yeah, they.
I'm pretty sure I can find it. Yeah.
Looks like
shit. Anyway.
Takes me this Carlos Del Rio Wilson.
Alright.
His Syracuse transfer, dual threat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting now with
One thing real quick. One cool experience that is going to present itself. I didn't realize this until I was 28 drinks in, and after the basketball game, some dude streaked at the fucking basketball.
Oh!
Wait.
It was awesome. You're watching the play.
When you said he got killed?
Yes.
high level tech. It's a holiday.
That's another thing behind the scenes that people don't realize, that I didn't realize until you have a chance to see it. Is like, it's not just your head coaches, man. You've got GMs and you've got like a ton of people behind the scenes that are really like supporting Nicole. Like he brought a lot of folks with him. I think
We got to do a trip to App, by the way. They play App
Yep.
in App this year.
Let's do it. So they're building this deck. It's a party deck. And when I say party deck, it's a legit party deck at the stadium. It's going to be part of the stadium where they have bottle services at tables. I mean, I'm telling you, this athletic director, he gets it. And they're looking for the naming rights for the deck, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But
Dude, the Volsi party deck.
That's so much better.
So much better than the nutrition
listen,
center.
The Gopher Green is Marshall Green.
That's true.
So there's conversations being had. Let's just say.
So are you gonna be? So are you
It's
gonna
gotta
be?
be the
I mean, you're not.
Volsi
You're not.
It can't be the Gopher party deck.
The Volsi Nutrition Center just has a better ring to it because
I
it
disagree.
instantly is like, what? Like,
Well, no. It sounds. If you don't know.
I have been
it
going. What are y'all
sounds-
talking about, bro? I've been going to the gym the last couple days. You know, it's fucking fun. Here's
Good story.
quick fun. Yeah, exactly.
Good
quick fun. I'm self-deprecating here. So Peyton's back in town, as I mentioned, and I texted him. I was like, "What time are you gonna swing by?" Blah blah. And I initially typed out, I was gonna run to the gym. Do you want to go? And then I thought, like, what the fuck would I do that for? There would be more time spent of me going like that, and like embarrassing myself in front of this fucking monster.
Yeah. Could you even spot him?
No.
Yeah. Like
No.
I mean,
And-
physically, I could.
No.
Hey,
No.
that was the fake offer. You're like, please don't say yes. Please don't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
no,
like,
I didn't
I
even
already
say- I
worked
didn't
out.
even-
Be like, oh, cool. I'll
Yeah.
just get
That's
one in
cool.
myself.
I'll just get a couple- I'll just get a
that's
couple
cool.
sits.
That's cool. I would hate to have to take the weights off for you anyway.
I feel so bad for the people. Like, I have been going a lifetime, and I get pretty fucking stoned before I work out. Like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you don't know that I fucking smoke pot, then you don't know me, and I don't give a fuck. But it is a performance enhancer. I'm not kidding. Like,
No,
it
it
helps
is.
me focus and good. Anyway, but what
How long are you in there?
Yesterday,
wrong.
I
4
got
hours?
I
He's
got
right.
after it. I got after it yesterday. I was there 2 hours yesterday. But anyway, what I do catch is I've got to make some fucking awful sounds. Like, there was this lady yesterday next to me on the treadmill, and I was like, I'm in it. I got my headphones on. I'm fucking just cloud nine. But I'm fucking dripping sweat. I'm dripping sweat, and then I'm like, I realize that I'm like, and I see out of the corner of my eye, this lady is on the treadmill next to me. It was just kind of like, God damn. Like, yeah, I'm like one misstep away from having the ambulance there, I'm sure. And I got in the steam room for a little while, and I don't know if that steam coupled with the fucking weed, but I was like in and out. Like, I felt like I was about to pass out.
That's always healthy.
It's all for the.
Well, that was at the start of the workout.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Warmed up
the
with
Volsi
the
Nutrition
steam room.
Center.
Yeah, brought to you by Multi Nutrition Center. I'll tell you what. I think I've mentioned it before. I need to find. There is a picture out there of me during the construction of that, in that area of the Murphy Center. During the construction, during a game. There's a picture of me ripping a dart, holding a bottle of Jack in front of the fucking Volsi Nutrition Center.
All right, so how many?
So, based on that, I feel like the Volsi party deck is probably more fitting.
We can put a gym on it. We'll put a little outdoor workout.
Yeah, it's like a mullet, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Put a pool in.
The Volsi
yeah,
is
of
the.
course.
Put a pool in
Hot
like in
tub.
Jacksonville.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you can swim laps.
Yeah.
Boom.
We saw it. I was down. My son looked back. I was like, dude, check it out. There's a pool. He's like, yeah, there's somebody naked in there. I was like, oh my God, you're right.
Nah, they would love it too, especially the college students.
Oh,
over here.
hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in August, September when it's hot.
No doubt.
and then
it would be an ice rink, an ice skating rink.
But then the school of Marshall actually has to hire somebody from Gopher to come like chlorinate the thing after the
Exactly.
Oh, they'd have to just empty it. Just empty
just
it,
desanitize
fresh
it.
water.
Did you know? Well,
All right, so you're probably going to go to more Marshall games than state games this next year.
get to go?
Probably go to.
Oh. I don't know. You know?
I mean,
What a difference a year makes,
It
though.
depends what Thundering Herd Tom's up to.
By the way, low key, like, I mean, not like anybody's dying to go to Lafayette here. But like just looking at the matchups, like you get in Murfreesboro, whatever. But like Boone, Conway, you go down and play Coastal, like you
yeah.
do a little Myrtle Beach trip, a
MJ
Boone trip,
Morris.
an Athens trip. Like that's not bad for like a P4 school.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in for it. Yeah. MJ committed to Coastal.
that's right.
To Coastal?
Yeah.
And you know what's messed up? A little intel. He was at Marshall. According to sources, he was at Marshall and had maybe even verbally committed to Marshall.
Really?
And then went to Coastal and flipped.
Little beef with the old OC and the old DC.
I don't know. I don't know. That'll be interesting when they play each other.
Yeah. Ooh, that's spicy.
That is spicy.
Oh, they do.
Hot
play
mic.
And I'll say this, man. We should absolutely tag Marshall in this because that fan base, like, they're welcoming. Like, people on Twitter, NC State fans. You know, I posted a picture with my buddy Mike. We had a Marshall hat at the basketball game, and there's actually like a fan, I don't know, camaraderie between Marshall and State.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So good.
It's the transition, the slow We'll look back on this 6 months from now and be like, remember when it all started?
Yeah.
It all started with Thundering Herd Tom.
Like that's how we
Thundering Herd
State
Tom.
is with Mississippi State.
Now,
They got
Ben,
like a family bond though.
he's going to have a new tattoo.
ACC tournament in basketball that year, right? And so
State was NC State.
All right, let's
Right,
keep moving on
right.
the show.
But
I'm
I'm telling the fucking story.
All right,
So
we're back
Third-
from commercial, and
yeah.
Tom has a story about his shoes.
So, third grade, I went to a school called Briarcliff Elementary, and it sucked. Like, I was getting my ass kicked every day, bullied, whatever, blah, blah. Was growing at the time, so I switched from Briarcliff to Apex Elementary, when Wake County was blowing up. My uncle got me this pair of shoes before they hit the shelves, and I went from fucking Briarcliff getting bullied, my ass kicked, fighting every day, to the coolest fucking kid in school because of these.
And now you go from Wolfpack Tom to a guy who's wearing a Marshall hat and has a Jumpman on his feet.
You want to hear?
Growth. Personal growth.
This is like
Personal growth.
Like if I wasn't
I was gonna say it's amazing
if I
they
wasn't
still
so
fit.
sure that like if I mean I think you're a very smart person. I don't think you're like necessarily like calculating in the way that you're gonna be like I'm sending a message. But like if I were a State fan who like just like saw a screenshot of this, I'd be like, okay, Tom is out. Look at the bottom of the shoes. The Jumpman is enormous. Like you and Mac might as well switch hats at this point.
I can see how that makes
Tune
a
in
lot
next
of sense.
time. Tune in next time.
What
And just to be clear, Tom is not doing that. I think Tom accidentally did this.
I can see how
Probably
that.
because the aforementioned, you know,
The story I just told, you know, that you
Yeah.
clearly glazed over your eyes and don't give a fuck about and want.
Mac
Yeah.
actually pretended he was going to sleep.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I did actually.
Okay, so
Better than your
let's-
fucking
let's-
ladling
Let's
story.
talk about our football team.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry. I totally forgot the word. Behringer, we gotta be quiet. Sorry, we just got yelled at.
9 a.m. on Thursday.
I don't blame him. You can hear it. I'd be annoyed as shit.
Maybe
Anyway,
it's
so,
time. All right.
so state athletics. Do you believe that NC State, someone at NC State, whether it's Kevin Keats or like a random fan who had the authority, like did a deal with Satan himself to secure an ACC championship and a Final Four run in exchange for
This year,
what happened in football and what is like apparently happening in basketball?
No.
yes.
No. I mean,
Or did we just get lucky and it's like,
Was it worth it? Is the question.
yeah, was it worth it? That's the question.
buddy,
I'm a Marshall fan. Are you asking me?
I'm scared we're gonna get yelled at.
yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to text. Sorry, Behringer Construction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to text Diddy. No,
This is why
it's
the
tough,
afternoon-
man. But let's be honest. When last year was a great year for basketball, and there was a lot of excitement around football to have the things turn out the way they did. And I'm not on this whole fire Keats thing. Like he deserves it.
Yeah.
He does. We went to
Coaching is the
Final
worst.
Four.
It's the hardest profession.
Yeah.
What have you
What'd
done
you do for me lately? Well,
Because
what about
we
last
literally
season? No,
went
we're talking about this
right
season.
now.
Well, but the
for
thing
real,
is,
though.
like, when the run happened, everybody agreed that it's like, okay, look, that was a fluke. We were one of the worst 4 teams in the ACC in college basketball. Like, we went on this, like, magical Cinderella run. We were never going to win the national title, but you win the ACC title. Haven't done that in 27 years.
Cinderella boy.
It's like, okay, you know what? Like, we understand that after this, things are probably, like, going to regress to, like, the mean.
It's probably not going to happen 2 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you lose like players like DJ Burns, right? You just lose guys, and you have this turnover, and you have a coach you don't really believe in, who was going to get fired, but makes this magical run. So it's like, but like then when you actually get to the next part of like the deal, you're like, that 35.3% APR on my soul is kind of taxing now. Like,
I'm not sure if that was the best deal.
yeah, and like, yeah, so like it's just one of those where like in the moment you're like, yes, we would trade this for whatever's coming next, and this was probably coming anyway, even if we don't make the run. Like,
Well, I will say, from the perspective of someone that is not a State fan, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's, people always talk about momentum in sports, especially college sports. You could just see with those kids, like they started believing. I can't speak to NC State fans, but if you went into the season thinking we're going back, I feel like maybe your expectations were a little off.
Agree, because I mean, think about it, and this is just my personal opinion.
Marshall's going to the
No,
Elite Eight.
but had that run not happened last year, things are drastically different right now. I would be willing to say that Kevin Keats is probably not the head coach of the
100%.
basketball team this year. I can say that pretty definitively.
Can we shift gears real quick?
Yeah, man.
To NFL? I would just like to discuss Mike Tomlin.
I was going to ask you. So after you said that,
Remember what I said.
You did, and I'll be honest with you, that resonated with me.
Yep.
Because, so he said, Pittsburgh fans, if I don't want to speak for you, but make sure I got it right. Pittsburgh fans are kind of with the whole Dave Doran's, there's a lot of commonality because, hey, you've been here a long time and you're but to the outside fan, we're like, what are you talking about?
He's never had a
Conley?
losing season.
Yeah, he's never had a losing season. But I got to be honest with you.
He's only
now,
ended one season with a win.
Especially, with Peyton being on, I'm same thing. Steelers, baby.
Oh, NC State fans are Steelers fans.
Yeah. And,
no doubt.
And so I pay attention. And after you said that, and then you look at that, I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
And I did some research. So the Steelers have spent the most money in the NFL the past 3 years on their defense.
Yeah.
Right? It's not really a defensive league anymore.
Yeah.
The better offenses beat the better defenses. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying just his style there it's played out.
Well, who else is in their division too? Because I feel like they get a lot of NC State. Like NC State comparison again. Are they just the product of being in a division that produces?
No, it's just stagnant.
I think so. Every year in the NFL, you usually see a team. You saw this like with Mike Vrabel's Titans in 2021, where they were the number 1 seed. Right? They had Ryan Tannehill who threw for like 2,900 yards or something like that. And Derrick Henry was hurt that year too, so they weren't even this like dominant run team. They were just like well coached, played good defense, got lucky in close games, and that was sort of the Steelers last year. So like, it's like it's not like necessarily sustainable, but it is if you have a really good coach and a defense that you spin on. But the problem is when you get to nut cutting time in the playoffs, like you're and I said this going into the playoffs, like all over the place, is like there's 3 teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens, who have an elite quarterback. They're the ones, like, it's so hard for the Steelers or these other teams.
You're not going to win.
Yeah, it's like you're just at a massive disadvantage going to the playoffs. And I think the problem for Tomlin is that he thinks he can overcome with coaching and with that defense and keeping it in close games, like the disadvantages they have at quarterback.
Oh, no doubt.
But you can't do it. And even like Belichick, that's the thing about Belichick too, is like, obviously outside of, like, he thought he could do it even without Tom Brady. And that's just it's not feasible for like the long haul.
Well,
it's time, man. It's time. I just want to go on record saying I called that.
You did.
I mean, there's a lot of Steelers fans who like want to move on. And I think if you're going to do that, you have to you almost have to because you saw with we saw the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy, like the mutual parting of ways.
There's nothing mutual about that.
Well, no, Mike McCarthy didn't want to sign whatever Jerry was offering him because it was going to be like a 2-year deal.
Because it was $1.
Yeah, well, it was just going to be a 2-year deal where he's in the same position he was in this past year. So now he can go get a job with the Bears where he's like going to be guaranteed 5 years or whatever. I think for the Steelers, like, it almost has to be a thing where somebody trades for him because the Steelers are too proud. Like they've had 3 coaches in our lifetimes. They're not going to move on from Tomlin.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to at some point, right? You're running business.
I agree.
I just think Tomlin will have to want to be traded, they're just not going to do it. I mean, I'm not saying like you're wrong.
You're totally right. And for him, I feel like it's so many people make the mistake of holding on too long.
Yeah.
Like go out on a good note, go coach, pull an Andy Reid, right? He went out of Philly. This guy will never coach again. He's coaching all right.
Yeah.
He's rolling.
Well, he got fired from Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like step back, be a commentator for a year, and then survey the scene. And
Tomlin would get a job immediately if
a team wants to have an average regular season and lose in the first round of the playoffs.
They were just the second team in NFL history to be leading the division by multiple games and lose the division by multiple games.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to find that clip, and I'm going to insert it from when I said, oh, no, just wait. They'll limp into the playoffs and lose in the wild card.
When you said that, it resonated, because there's a lot of commonalities, Anywho, well, I think we should lightning round it, because I'm pretty sure they want to use their...
Yeah, use their coverage.
The British guys are going to come down and yell at us again.
Let's go. I'll tell you what, we'll lightning round who Bill Belichick is coaching for at the start of the 2025 football season.
UNC.
Dallas.
TP.
I know. I'm thinking. Florida.
Florida,
Yeah.
the Gators?
Yeah. I don't know.
That is absolutely.
Hot mic.
I think Dallas is the answer.
I think Dallas.
I think
prime
it's-
in.
I don't like, and I told Adam.
Let's
Gold
place a bet. Let's place a.
No,
What's
you've
the
been
odds?
right about everything so
All
far.
right, that's the show. Thanks to Barringer Construction. Thanks to Barringer Construction
Sorry.
for hosting us. Sorry to Barringer Construction for hosting us. We'll be back soon.
Not here though.
See you guys.
Trent, did you just